was sort of like a play on, you know, maybe low and high culture coming together. What I intended to get across was that there was I want to say, sort of a learning, a process of understanding that came from a non-traditional, extremely non-traditional way. And that this album was going to be sort of an embodiment of those type of rules and lessons, what maybe more formal, sort of a more formal paradigm would call uneducated or wouldn't acknowledge, but in fact were valuable life lessons. And this music was about to be a representation of that. If anything, it was just about learning how to really trust my individual voice, you know what I mean? But I had some very strong ideas, you know, and I was very strong about those, you know, I felt strongly about those ideas. So, you know, I was excited, and once the momentum, you know, once it started going in a certain direction, it was just a matter of working out the kinks and continuing to do it. I think for me it was, you know, I was excited about, you know, taking this music that I thought was beautiful, you know, old school doo-wop music, you know, cats used to harmonize, and the beautiful harmonies and the melodies, and just taking that and making something contemporary that my generation could get excited about. And I grew up listening to the music that my parents collected as teenagers, you know what I mean, and children, and I was fed on a lot of that music, you know. I think that for me, you know, I sort of acted as sort of a bridge, you know what I mean, between an older generation and a younger generation, and how to put these two musical styles together, you know, to build a continuum so that there wasn't so much of a disconnect between the generations. And I think that the Miseducation was really what that was all about, you know what I mean? I think it was about being a bridge, you know, between generations that could very well have drifted off in separate directions. You know, I think though I made a piece of music from a sincere place, and I think that sincerity has no choice but to resonate with people, you know what I mean? I think that my motives were probably in the right place, you know what I mean, at the right time. And I think it resonated and spoke or represented something for a generation of people who needed that at that time, or who wanted that at that time. And I was in a very blessed position to be able to be the carrier of that message.